What's up, y'all? It's your girl Naj. If you are new to my channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button and make sure you hit the bell if you want to keep up with me. If you are not new to my channel, welcome back. Today I'm going to be doing something different. It's not going to be beauty, it's not going to be hair, makeup, none of that. If you have been rocking with me since the beginning, then you probably will be very excited about this. But for my college babies, I am doing a video about my, well, not even just my HBCU in general, but you know, just so y'all can see. Today I'm going to be doing the 10 things that you should know before coming to HBCUs in general, PVAMU specifically, whatever you want to call it, whatever you want to say, it don't really matter. 10 things you need to know, like 10 things that I low-key wish that somebody would have told me or that I would have known before coming to PV. I'm going to be telling y'all today. So y'all know I don't like to do a whole bunch of rah-rah in the beginning. We're just going to get right into the video. So the first thing that I would say, like, this is my number one. I feel like this is like the most important thing on the list because it can be applied in so many different like areas of college, but I'm just gonna say keep an open mind. Like, come into college with an open mind, and for that it can be applied in different areas. Like I said, for example, with like friendships, I would say come into college. Actually, you know what, that's getting into my number two, so we just gonna take it real quick. Okay, first of all, scratch that part, but as far as college in general, I feel like you should keep an open mind, because if you come in with expectations or just like anything can change, things can always change, and I feel like that's the difference between college and high school. Like, things are always going on, it's always something happening. There's gonna be so much different kinds of people that you meet, especially at an HBCU, because everybody's black. So I feel like people that don't go to HBCUs, they probably think like, oh well, it's just like a whole bunch of black people. Like, I've heard people tell me that they didn't want to go to a HBCU because it was so much black people. They wanted to be with people that were different than them. And for me, it's just like, I feel like even though I go to an HBCU, I feel like it's very versatile. Like, there are Africans that go to Prairie View. Like, there are so many different international students that come to the school that aren't just black. And even besides that, there are so many people that aren't from Texas that come to Prairie View that are different. Like, people from different states are different. So overall, I would just say keep an open mind, because college, it can be stressful and it can be trying, it can be a lot of things, but I feel like if you come in with expectations, that's what makes those things more unbearable than just going with the flow. Now, I'm not saying everything about to be peaches and daisies and fairy tales and sunlight and all that. I know college is far from that, let me let y'all know that, but it's like the most exciting slash, I don't even want to use depressing, but like traumatizing, it's the most dramatic slash traumatizing experience of your life, probably, because you're going through so much stuff with stress, with school. You know, a lot of people like me would say that they just kind of, you know, got through high school easy, so they just kind of went. Why can I not talk today? But a lot of people say that they just breezed through high school. You know, they didn't put a lot of effort in. They just kind of did what they had to do and made the grades that they expected to make with little to no effort. And college is a whole different ballgame. You actually have to study. Then it's just so much going on, and it's like so much fun stuff going on at the same time that it's very hard to get like stuck in a funk. And I just want y'all to always remember to, like, whatever you do, like, you can get stuck in the funk for however long you personally need to take, but after that time is over, get back up. And I promise you, it's gonna be something out there for you to do. Like, it's gonna be something for you to distract yourself with. Like, there's so many organizations, there's so much But you already got your little, you know, PV23 in your bio, whatever. I think y'all are PV23. Anyways, you're gonna have all that by this point. If you're there, then boom. I'm sure by now you might be in some group chats, met people, decided to start a group chat. You know, Twitter moves fast, and as soon as that hashtag starts, there are so many people that you're gonna meet on Twitter that you're gonna want to be friends with. You're gonna think, oh, she's cute, we look like we like the same stuff, we wear the same stuff, we shop the same stores, we like the same, you know. You're gonna do all that because I did all that. Everybody did all that. If anybody said that they didn't do all that, they're lying. So let me just be the one to let you know. You know, I hate to be the one to say it, but you're gonna do it. But don't come in thinking y'all gonna be like gang, 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 gang. Cause let me just let you know that when you get here, 9 times out of 10, it's probably not gonna be like that unless, because there's always a but, they stay in your building. And the reason that I'm saying this is because a lot of people, and you know it's natural because college is really and truly, believe people when they say this, y'all, is really where you find yourself. So a lot of people, well, what I've noticed is that they will try to, you know, create this version of themselves that they want people to see them as, because a lot of people are going to colleges where it's all new people. Even if it's not all new people, it's way more people probably than you went to high school with if you're going to a bigger university. But even, you know, the biggest high school is nowhere near the size of an HBCU. So just know there's going to be so many different people, and a lot of people like to just, you know, go in with a clean slate because nobody's going to know them. Nobody's going to be able to say, oh, Keisha, you wasn't doing that in high school, because Keisha is going to be in Michigan and y'all are in Texas. So, you know, there's no way. But my bad, y'all. There's just gonna be so many people trying to be something that they're not, and it's because why not? Like, I completely understand the motive, but it's so much better to just keep an open mind to friends in general, because the people you go into with meeting on Twitter, 9 times out of 10 when you meet them, they're not gonna be exactly the person that you thought they were when you met them behind the screen. Or you might realize, like, oh, I don't like the way she carries herself, her room dirty, or I don't really like the way she acts like as a person. And this is for dudes too. I mean, I don't really know what y'all, dudes are different, so I'm not really gonna speak for a dude, but just from a girl's perspective on this topic with friends, I'm all about the vibe. I'm all about the, like, initial physical energy when I meet you, because I can talk to somebody behind the screen for a long time, but if it doesn't feel natural, like if we don't really click when I meet you, then we just ain't click, and I'm not about to force it. So if you're like me, then you should definitely be even more open to making friendships, because when people tell you that you will meet your lifelong friends in college, I really truly believe that that is the truth. Like, I've made friends that I can honestly say and feel like that I will be friends with years from now. And I think it's partially because when you're in college, like, y'all are literally doing everything together. But as I said, it's also a very trying time. So it's like, y'all going through it together. Y'all, you know, y'all doing everything together. Y'all turning up together. Y'all get to see the best and the worst times of each other's lives, because that's all there is. Especially if you go to a little HBCU in a country town like PV, because it's really nothing out here except us in the school and parties every now and then, and maybe a kickback here and there, and maybe a school event that's live that everybody wants to go to. But besides that, it's just stress and class and food. So just keep an open mind to friends. Like, you, first of all, when you move into the UC, you're gonna meet so many different people now. I'm not gonna say that y'all are all gonna be best friends, but a lot of my friends that I said I can still see myself being friends with, like, later on, were definitely my friends that stayed in the UC. And for my freshman babies that are going to be staying in the UC, you definitely aren't really going to have time to, you know what, I don't even want to say that you're not going to have time, because that was just my personal experience. You might have more time, but from my experience personally staying in the UC, you don't really have time to, you know, kick it or even get to know new people besides the new people that are already in your building, because of the rules, and you're just always going to be in the building. 90% of the time you're going to be in the UC if you're a freshman. And it's just, unless you were already friends with them like previously, like if y'all knew each other from high school or knew each other before, and like actually if y'all stay in a building that's closer to each other or something like that, because I did have a few friends that I met in the summer that like I would see around, but I really didn't just have time to hang out with them like that, simply because I stayed in building 44. And if you know where 44 is, it's all the way at the end of the road, okay? And if they stayed in like 38, I don't even know if that's a girl building. I really don't even know what number the buildings on the other end were. Like, I just know those is the buildings in the front, and I stayed on the far end. But if y'all are like that, 9 times out of 10 y'all really not gonna be seeing each other like that. Now if you got a little boo or something, it might be different, because you know everybody gonna cut corners for they boo. But anyways, just be open-minded. Don't go in there with a stank attitude, or don't try to be gang like I said and form some clique. Even if you make friends in your building, don't try to be like, oh, these are my friends and that's it. Like, if you do that, I mean, that's fine, because I'm not gonna say don't do that, because everybody's gonna do whatever they want. Y'all are grown at this point. But just know later on you're gonna just meet people that you would have never thought you would have been cool with, and that you never even got the chance to know, just because you already were like so closed off to the idea of even getting to know new people. And you're gonna be like, oh, she was actually cool. Like, you would have known that if you would have just been open to anything. Okay, so that goes back to my first question. Be open to anything. Be open to friendships. Be open to just having fun. The next thing I would say that is very, very, very important is be prepared to get things done on your own. Now, I cannot speak for PWIs because I go to HBCU, but at my HBCU, I'm not gonna say Prairie View is not any help, but Prairie View definitely has made me become way more responsible as a person. And the reason I say this is because you literally have to stay on top of your stuff, because it's not like high school, like somebody's constantly reminding you of the things that need to get done. Like, there's not going to be somebody in your ear always telling you what you need to do or what's coming up. In college, literally, if you miss the deadline, you just miss the deadline, and that's just gonna be it, because PV is not gonna keep, they might send you an email or two, but if you don't even check your email, which you definitely should be checking your email in college, if you're not already checking your email, you need to start getting in the habit of doing that, because pretty much all the important information, and even small stuff like class being canceled, is going to be in your email. So that's just another tangent. But basically, it's time to like start maturing if you haven't already. You need to start handling your own thing, like your paperwork and stuff. I personally started trying to, you know, get things done, turn things in on my own without having my mom and dad do it, just so I could mentally train myself to start doing things and getting things done, because I promise you, nobody's gonna be giving you a bib, and you know, nobody's going to be babying you in college. That's just it. And it sounds so repetitive, like that I'm just reiterating it, but literally when you get in college, one day you're gonna wake up and be like, dang, like I really gotta do this, because ain't nobody gonna do it for me. And that's the mindset that you should go in having, just to avoid having to even have that aha moment. Just let yourself know that you need to start taking responsibility, because if you don't, things are not going to get done. FAFSA, you need to know that deadline. You need to know all the deadlines for your class stuff. There are a lot of professors that are just like, check the syllabus, it's in the syllabus. Like, they don't really care about repeating themselves either, because it's also faster paced than high school. So it's either you're getting the information and retaining the information, or you're not. If you don't ask questions in class, they're not gonna know you need help. Because the people who do need help, best believe they're gonna be, baby, they's gonna be raising their hands. So if you need help with anything, ask. Because 9 times out of 10, there's going to be somebody that can help you somewhere. And get your stuff done, get all your things turned in, because if you don't, you're gonna be like, dang, I missed that deadline. I missed that deadline too. And then there's gonna be nothing you can do. Find a healthy balance between your social and your academic life. I know I've said this in one of my videos before. I can't remember which one, but I know I've said this exact thing before. But this had to go on the list again because it is so important. No matter what year you're in, if you're a freshman, sophomore, junior, senior, it don't matter. You need to have some type of balance in your life. Now, I'm not even gonna cap, like I'm just the most organized person, but I do my best. I do what I can, because I have seen how college can really, like, it's so much, y'all. There's gonna be so many things to do. There's gonna be an involvement fair if you go to PV with all of the organizations on campus, and you're gonna want to join a lot of them. Don't do that. Make sure you actually look into those organizations and actually see if it's something that you can commit yourself to before you just decide that you want to be an organization. But that's a whole other thing. But there's gonna be so much stuff, parties, just events going on campus from the organizations that are hosted by them. Like, there's always something to do. In addition to that, there's always going to be homework, assignments, study halls. If you have a group project, you're probably gonna have to meet with your group. There's always gonna be class stuff going on, and there's always gonna be fun stuff going on. So in order for you to like get both things done in a successful way, you're going to have to decide how you want to plan it out. Now say, boom, you know you taking a hard class and you really need to study for that class, set out an hour a day. If you have gaps between your class, say, oh, okay, I know I got this class later on in the day, so I'm gonna take the time between my first and second class to study for that test later. Like, things like that are what's gonna help you get things done. Because if you're waiting until the end of the day, or however your schedule is, me personally, this year I had early classes because I seen how I didn't really like the later classes. Like, I'm not trying to be in class afternoon really, to be honest, but everybody's not like me. Some people don't wake up in the morning. I don't wake up in the morning, but I'm trying to get out of that, so I have to like force myself to be a morning person. But some people know they ain't morning persons and they ain't trying to be morning people, so they decide to take later classes. If you're doing that, I definitely think that you should be studying and getting your work done early in the day. So once you go to class, you can just go to class, maybe get some time to study after class, and then boom, go home, do what you gotta do, be done with it. Don't try to wait to the last minute to do things, because that's how you end up cramming things at the last minute and then you don't know what's going on. The best advice that I would give y'all for time management is literally, as soon as you get your schedule and your syllabus and all your stuff at the beginning of the semester, take your syllabus, get you a planner, or if you don't want to get a planner, get you a journal and literally write. Even better, if you don't want to use any type of paper, get your phone. There's so many calendar apps, or you can use the little iPhone. If you don't got an iPhone, I'm sure you got a calendar, but use the calendar app and literally put in the dates of everything important, all the due dates that for the assignments that need to be turned in, all the dates of the tests and quizzes coming up. That is going to help you be able to prioritize your time. And say you don't have classes on like Fridays, you can plan your schedule to where you can get everything done that you need to get done by say you only have classes on Fridays, that means that all your work is going to usually be turned in either on a Tuesday or a Thursday. So you can plan your week to turn in things and get all of your studying and everything that you need to get done for all of your classes from Monday through Thursday. So after Thursday, on Friday, you can be done, and then you can party, you can do whatever you want to do because you ain't got nothing else to do. It's just however you gotta do it, you gotta figure it out because everybody is different. So your schedule is not gonna look like mine, and mine ain't gonna look like. You just gotta figure out what works for you. But also, don't isolate yourself and like try to not have fun either. Like, don't do the complete opposite. Like, don't just indulge in one more than the other. Like, don't just be a workaholic and never make time for fun. I mean, if that's you and if that's what satisfies you and you just like to study and that's all you like to do, then that's you. But I'm sure everybody likes to have a little fun. So just plan it out to where you can be able to do both, and then can't nobody tell you nothing because all your stuff gonna be done, and you can go to the party, and you can go to the kickback next week, and you can do whatever you want to do because you planned it out. Pro tip, y'all. Don't be so caught up in finding love in relationships, y'all. This one is also, this is like number 2 like top important things to know. Not even just coming to PV, really going to college in general, but for the purpose of this video, we gonna attach it to my school. A lot of people come to college like, especially if you're already coming in with a boo. Let me just get y'all out the way first. If you're already coming in with somebody, I highly am against coming into college with a relationship unless y'all relationship is rock solid, baby. Like, unless y'all for real, like y'all gonna do this and y'all boot up and y'all, that's your babe, period. That's your dog. He gonna sit down and listen, baby. Unless y'all is locked in like that, I highly would tell you to not come to college with a relationship. One, because we come to college, you're gonna meet so many new people, as I keep saying in all of these points, but you're definitely going to meet new relationship, you know, potential partners for relationships. And in addition to that, you shouldn't even be dating those people seriously. I really think that college should be for having fun, being free, and dating casually. Like, don't really be so focused on taking people and things serious because, as I said, there's so much going on already. A relationship is just another thing on top of all of that stuff that's really just, I don't even really know how else to say it besides saying a relationship ain't for the weak, especially if you're in college. Like, if you gonna do that in college, I feel like you really need to be committed, and if y'all aren't really committed to each other, then y'all really just would be better off as friends because it's just so much more. And I would hate for anybody to be sitting in a room crying and missing out on stuff because they're sad in college. Like, you don't want to be sad in college. You really don't. Because like I said, just how class goes on, all the fun stuff is going to keep going on too. And while you sitting in your room, in your dorm, letting all the stuff pass you by, you're still going to be sad. And he's still, the dude or the girl, whoever, whatever you prefer, they gonna be out there living their life, and you gonna be looking around looking crazy. Yeah, I just, like, I'm not saying don't be open to a relationship, but definitely be more, make sure that you're ready for a relationship, number 1, and be so in love with yourself that if you do find somebody and do meet somebody that's really like just everything you ever wanted, if you do meet somebody and they're just amazing, then you will be ready to actually be in a relationship, a healthy relationship with healthy communication and all of that stuff. Because if you're not ready, like, a lot of people know that they're not ready and come to college to literally have fun and do whatever. But then they meet somebody and they're like, oh, well, I really like this person and I want to try this. But you already know in your heart that you're not ready for that. So just starting a relationship when you know you're not ready for a relationship is just going to end in heartbreak, y'all. And heartbreak should be the last thing on your mind in college. Like, it's just no reason, y'all. Y'all are so young, so full of life. Just don't do it, y'all. Be free, be open to anything. Like I said, date casually. Just because you're dating one person don't mean you can't talk to Tom, Dick, and Harry. Like, you literally can have options. And there's no such thing as a talking stage, y'all. Just because you're dating Tom don't mean you and Harry can't link up and go see a movie. Like, you can do whatever you want because you're grown and you're single, okay? Oh, and be discerning when dating. I also wrote that down because, y'all, as a freshman specifically, if you come in, just be discerning about the guys that are trying to get to know you. Like, some dudes are actually genuine, so I'm not saying don't give nobody a chance and be bitter and be all, you know, you don't have to do all that. But if a senior is trying to talk to you, you should just, I don't even know how to explain it because everybody doesn't just, I'm crazy, y'all. In my head, I just be putting things together. But just make sure you know people and really know them and who they are before you allow them into your space. And when I say your space, I mean your mind frame, like your physical and mental energy, period. Make sure that they are who they say they are before you allow them to even affect your mood like that. If the Greeks is trying to talk to you when you a freshman, I'm not even gonna lie, you should know. And I'm not saying that just because you're a freshman doesn't mean that you can't be taken seriously by Greeks or by a basketball player or a football player or anything like that. But realistically, there are all these girls at not even just HBCUs. There's all these girls in, for girls and guys is like a drastic difference. So there's like 10 girls to one guy, y'all. Like, literally, I'm not even exaggerating. So it just wouldn't make sense for him to specifically pick a freshman girl out of all these women just out of curiosity or just because he really likes you. Like, just be smart when you're dealing with these dudes because they will sell you a story. And if you're very naive, because everybody's different, everybody's not just discerning naturally, then just know that people will see that and they will try to take advantage of you because they will see that weakness. So be very discerning. Stay true to yourself and don't change who you are just to fit in or just to be a part of this, that, and the third. Like, y'all, this is another important one. I mean, really everything that I said is important. I'm noticing as I'm doing this video, but we ain't even gonna get into it, y'all. We ain't even gonna get into it. But, like, stay true to yourself for real, y'all. Don't, you know, the reason I'm saying this is because if you don't know who you are coming into college, you really will be taken advantage of. Because another thing that people in college like to do is put you in a box. And that's another thing. If you're coming to college, I promise you there's going to be at least one person that's doing exactly what you want to do, and you're probably going to look up to that person, and you might even be able to get in touch with that person or become friends or acquaintances with people that you look up to. But all of these people are not necessarily good people, and not even just leaders, just people in general, because you could look up to anybody. You could look up to a YouTuber and that you know goes to the same school as you and meet her and she might be crazy as hell. Like, it just really depends. But one thing that I've noticed specifically about PV is that a lot of people will try to act like they're helping y'all with, but it's like it comes off as condescending. So definitely be aware of those kind of people, especially if you don't really know who you are, because if you don't know who you are, then people will turn you into whoever they want you to be, or whatever it is that they see you as, or who they feel like you are in their mind is what you're gonna be. And it's easy to fall into that trap if you're, you know, very naive. Like, I can't even think of the word that I want to use, y'all. I can't even think of it. But if you're very weak-willed and like, no, you can be like easily peer pressured and things like that, just be cautious. And like I said, be discerning of the people you're allowing in your corner, because everybody is not going to be who they say they are. And like I was saying about staying true to yourself, just because you want to be a part of X, Y, and Z, you don't need to act a certain way just because you think that's what's gonna make them like you, or that's what's gonna make you fit in, or that's what's gonna make old boy think you fine. Like, don't try to be somebody you're not. And I really want to stress that, because I promise you, people who try to be someone they're not, I swear it's way more noticeable than you just being whatever it is that you are naturally. Like, if you're just yourself, I promise you nobody will probably even tell. I promise you 9 times out of 10 it's all in your head, because we're really our own worst self-critics. But if you're trying to be somebody else or just forcing stuff, people can tell. Like, people can pick up on fraudulent energy or just like non-genuine people, and you don't want to come off as a non-genuine person. I'm sorry y'all, my camera died. But basically just don't try to be somebody you're not just to fit in, or just because you think that that's what people want to see, or that that's what people will like, because I promise you it's not. And it's just gonna come off as you not being genuine. And then yeah, you just be yourself, y'all. Just be yourself. Like, college is free for you to be yourself. And that's another thing that I was gonna say. When you come to college, especially in HBCU, like I said, there's so many different kinds of black people. I promise you, you're going to find somebody that's just like you, or that's similar to you, that you can be friends with. Like, there's so many people with different interests, different hobbies. There's the creatives, there's the athletes, there's the models, there's the singers, there's the dancers. Like, not even like Black Fox or Panther Doll dancers, like just the people that like to dance at parties. I swear, those type of people gravitate towards each other. There's people that like art. I think we have a book club. Like, we have multiple different poetry groups on campus. There's Bible studies. Like, there's so many things to get into. You really, I promise you, if you're scared that you're not gonna find somebody like you, or you're gonna be too different, or too this or too that, or anything like that, I promise you, I just want to ease your mind. You're gonna be okay, y'all. You're going to find somebody that you like hanging out with, that's cool. You probably gonna find multiple people that's cool. Like, you're gonna have fun. Just be yourself. Don't be so competitive, because it ain't cute, y'all. This one, I put this on the list because at PV there's a lot of, that's even another category for the different people. There are so many business owners and entrepreneurs on campus, and just people that do different things that they can make money off of. And I feel like instead of just, and this doesn't even go for jobs, like even with organizations and stuff. I heard somebody ask one time, I think it was a tweet, they were like, why do y'all keep creating the same organizations instead of just joining the ones that already have, you know, basically the purpose and the goal that you're going for? And to me, it just applied to not even organizations, but jobs and everything in general, because you know, a lot of people, even with YouTube, like a lot of people are going to be doing what you're doing, but I feel like it's just nasty to kind of have an attitude of like, oh well, yeah, it's just me. Like basically, like, you don't need anybody. Like, if you sell lashes, collab with the other girls that sell lashes, or still support the other people that do what you do. It's gonna be so many people selling hair, so many people doing makeup, so many people doing nails, so many people that are photographers. Like, I feel like people are always so focused on the competition, or are focused on being better, or people thinking that they're the best, when I feel like collaborating in group efforts, or just supporting people that do the same thing as you versus feeling threatened. Why does that not sound right? Do y'all ever just be saying words and feel like, or just writing words and you've been writing it over and over again and it starts just not looking like it's spelled the right way? Anyways, don't feel threatened by people that are doing the same thing as you. If anything, you should use it as fuel to just keep going harder, or just to be inspired. Like, it's nothing wrong with being inspired by somebody that is where you want to be, or even if you want to say better than you, because I like to be real with myself. I like to find people that I feel like are better than me and use that as fuel to get better or get on their level, just like internally. Like, I have my favorite makeup artists that I look up to, and I look at their work and I study their pictures and their techniques and see what they do and try to mimic it when I do my work. Y'all know what I mean. Like, I feel like, yeah. This is why I can't film. Like, I crack myself up so many times. I've had to stop filming so many times. When I first decided that I wanted to do makeup again, I looked at the different makeup artists on campus, and I looked at the ones that I thought were better than me at the level that I was then, and I just used that as fuel to get better at my work and get better at my craft, and basically just improve my skills. And I feel like, if anything, that's what you should be doing if you feel like it's just a competition, because it's really not. Like, everybody can eat. It's room for everybody. There's somebody for everybody. Hey, just because she sell hair and you sell hair, you could be selling hair to the people in your building. You already have an advantage over the people in your building, just simply based off the fact that y'all live in the same building. There's going to be so many different people that you meet, that you can network with, that I feel like it's fair game for anybody to be doing anything. I don't think you should come in trying to be competitive, or just trying to be, you know, too good to work with anybody else, because that honestly will make your reputation bad overall, and just make people not really want to work with you, because it's just like, well, he or she thinks she better than everybody, so I don't even feel like why even, you know, they act like they don't need me. So y'all know what I mean. Make sure you're representing yourself well, and remember, people are always watching. Now with this, I want to say, because when I typed it, I put yourself in caps, because I want to emphasize, make sure you're representing yourself well, whatever that means to you. Because at PV, people will try to push their narratives of what they believe or what they were taught, and not even just PV, college in general. People will try to push their narratives or their culture or their customs onto you, and that is not, like, no. But represent yourself well. Don't do anything that you feel like you wouldn't want to show a job for an interview, or anything that could jeopardize you getting your dream job, or anything that could, I'm not even gonna say make you go to jail, because that's too broad, but anything that just you personally feel like would be a bad look, and you know what you personally think would be a bad look for you. I can't tell you what you would think. I know the stuff that I would think would be a bad look, and that's the stuff I try to avoid not doing. So just remain conscious about the stuff that you're doing, and also tying into that, there's always somebody watching. People, I might as well go ahead and use an example since I'm on this topic. People at my school were saying that wearing bonnets and, you know, scarves and do-rags is unprofessional in the classroom. Now, me personally, my debate was that we can wear whatever we want to wear because we're paying for it, and I don't really see why it matters, especially if you're going to class. Now, I don't feel like it's an issue for class because some people have 8 a.m.s. Like, if you wake up early and you just wasn't feeling like it, I feel like you should be entitled to that feeling and not feel like you have to dress up or that every day is a fashion show. Don't let nobody tell you that, because I promise you, it don't have to be a fashion show every day for you. The days that you feel like you want to dress up and you want to be cute and you want to step on people's neck, you go for it. But the days you feel like you just want to wake up out of bed and throw on a hoodie and maybe leave on the same sweats you went to sleep in, then that is cool too. After you took a shower. So people be trying to take what you say and misconstrue. But don't feel pressured into being dressed up every day. But I do feel like for certain events and certain occasions, of course, a bonnet would not be appropriate to wear on the day of a presentation. Or of course, it would not be appropriate to wear a do-rag to an interview for a job position on campus. Like, those are the things where I feel like you can say, like, the way you present yourself as far as appearance wise with clothes is important. Now, there are certain things that you know, that's really subjective to me, because there are certain things that people will say you shouldn't wear to school, but really I feel like we're all grown. So also, don't go in being so worried about what other people are doing, because if you're doing what you should be doing and you feel like that's enough, you shouldn't be worried about what they got going on with that. Anywho, present yourself the way that you would like to be seen. Now, if you go in wearing small dresses to class every day, it's wrong that somebody would think that you're X, Y, and Z, but we all know that there are ignorant people in the world that assume things based on small generalizations. So just know that however you present yourself, people are going to see that and they're going to come up with their own narrative. But that's why it's also important for you to stay true to yourself, because if you're true to yourself and you know who you are, then it really don't matter. That is why with me, as I said, I had a different opinion about the do-rags and the scarves and the bonnets and all that stuff. But as I said, me personally, I feel like however I feel on that day when I go to class is how I'm gonna go. Now, I just never go just looking crazy, but I definitely have went to class with caps on my head because my head was looking crazy, or I just didn't feel like doing my hair, or a scarf tied around my hair if I had it down like this, or stuff like that. I feel like there's no harm in that, but everybody different. And my last word of advice will be, don't be a Greek groupie. And this one, yeah, I know, but I cannot tell y'all how many people didn't ask me questions, slid in my DMs, ooh, my bad. But I cannot tell y'all how many girls have slid in my DMs from my YouTube. It's always my subscribers. And you know, y'all always ask me questions PV related, but the Greek questions I cannot answer, y'all. I don't know who know. I don't know who know what. And when you get to college, you will get all of the answers you need to know. I promise you. But it is just not like a PWI. And I hate to say it, but HBCUs are so politicky. Like, everything is about politics, y'all. Literally everything. So you can't just walk around freely asking questions or coming up to people that are in organizations and, you know, berating them with questions about that organization or about when they're gonna have a new line. Like, things like that you can't really do. Like, it's just not right in HBCU world. Now, your friends from PWIs, they might come and tell you stories about how they doing this, that, and the third, and how their process was, and how easy it was, and all they had to do. But just know that your situation is going to be completely different from anybody that does not attend an HBCU. So just know that coming in, and don't do the most. Don't do the most. Like, that's literally all I can say. Just stay low key. Don't tell nobody your business. Nobody that you know will go and tell Kayla, Marie, and Sally that you want to be such and such, because then your chances of being X, Y, and Z is probably going to be slim pickings, okay? So just be discerning, as I've been saying the whole video, and don't be going around talking about it. Your time will come when you will be able to express your interest, and I would highly encourage you to
27 hearts
at that time. And don't, if you have anything associated with any organizations that you're not technically associated with, that you tweeted, even if it was last year or a year ago, or just anything that would look bad, like I said, if you were going on an interview, anything that would make them tell you no, make sure you delete that and get all that gone before you do anything. And that doesn't even go for just Greek organizations. Like, really take everything that you do in college more serious. Even e-board positions, a lot of people don't really take them that seriously, but I would highly encourage you to get involved with organizations, and definitely join e-board if you know that you're a diligent, hardworking person that can handle the job. I definitely would recommend joining e-board because it looks great on resumes, and it looks great for other organizations that are trying to do it, or doing anything on campus. If you want to do a pageant and they read your bio, it's going to sound good knowing that you did X, Y, and Z. Just take all of that into consideration, y'all. So that is all that I have for you guys today. I know I've been talking for a little while. I always talk